Improvising the level of difficulty for a role is one of the hardest things you'll have to master. But I'll try to help in this episode of You're a Good GM. Could you be better? Yep. It takes a lot of practice to be able to swing a difficulty or improvise a DC in D&D on the spot during a session. Obviously, a game like Dungeons & Dragons or Daggerheart or any other game with difficulty swings, you'll have a little table or a little line that equates the numbers in difficulty to short sentences like easy, very easy, normal, hard, super hard, impossible. And that is a good basis to go off from. It's really annoying that every time you ask for a roll and are not sure about the difficulty and need to check that and then think about it and then say a number, kind of breaks the flow of a session. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You don't always have to announce the DC out loud. You can save that for special moments where tension is high, where the stakes of a roll are super important, like sneaking behind a dragon. There you can take a moment, pause, think about it a little bit, consult the table if needed, and go, you can try. The DC is 24. Great storytelling mechanism. But then, for most normal and common rolls, it's fine to not define the number in your head ahead of the roll, but just have a general idea of what the difficulty of the task is. And why is that? Because by the time you hear the result of the roll, your mind already will know if that number is enough or not. If the stakes aren't high and they just want to sneak around a house to peek through a window, you can ask them for a stealth roll, do not announce the DC, and in your head you already know that there is a possibility of them being caught, but it isn't the most common outcome. It's an easy-ish task. They immediately go, oof, it's only a 14. And now you gauge their reaction. Because they think 14 is not enough for this task, you can now decide that the DC was somewhere in that area, but they still managed to succeed. You don't need to announce it. You can go into something like, ooh, 14. You can barely make it, but you can make it. And then you learn to play with player reaction to the number and your own idea of difficulty. For example, if they roll a 17 and go, oof, 17, nice. You can go both ways. You can go, ooh, 17, easy. You sneak around the house and you match their vibe. Or you can invert expectations and go, ooh, 17. Yeah, you make it. Choosing which to do will depend on what you're trying to do as a storyteller. Are you trying to match the energy, or is it time to pivot a little bit from the energy of the table and raise the stakes a little bit? Use this to your advantage. And before you say this is like fudging dice, it isn't. You're not rolling something and then deciding it's something else. You have an idea of the difficulty. That is not changing. You know how difficult a task is. You just didn't decide on a number. You decided on a range, I guess. Try it out and let me know.